Let's just play that and listen to the room mic. There's a Royer Ribbon SF24V, which is a tube ribbon mic, stereo tube ribbon mic, right here. Why did we put it here? Because those drums are loud compared to that guitar. So we moved it away from the drums and tried to have a balance between all the instruments. And just the room mic sounds like this. I'm a cog in the machine. Can you believe how much bass drum there is in it, considering how far it is from the bass drum? You're a mean bass drum player. So, this gives you an idea of what it sounds like on stage. And tomorrow when I mix the song, I'll be able to use this to give kind of a messy vibe to it, so it doesn't sound so clean. I just wanted to play you that. How about you play the bass microphone when he sings? Yeah. You hear a little bit of the vocal, a little bit of the drums, but the bleed is clean because it's a ribbon, so it's nice, clean bleed. How about the vocal mic? I'm solid steel in scalding steam.
Sounds great.
I'm a cog in the machine.
Okay, and what's going on with, say, the violin microphone? That's still not as good, but we're gonna do okay. Once he switches to the bow, it'll be perfect. All right, this to show, don't be afraid to bleed. If the bleed is clean, if the drums are sound like in the violin microphone, then it won't ruin your drum sound. I saw you. So bleed is not necessarily bad. Bleed is the sound of the records we like. You know, like everybody talks about, you know, whatever, the Beatles or Pink Floyd or whatever, bled like crazy. It was stuff all over the place, you know, and it's okay. It won't hurt you, won't bite. Yes?
What do you mean by clean bleed?
The way I see it, and that's a very personal thing, you have to form your own taste, but the way I see it is if I bring a microphone up and there's another instrument bleeding, so for example, in the violin microphone, I'm hearing the drums. If I like the tone of the drums in the violin microphone, I consider that clean. Very often, for certain microphones, maybe a lesser quality, or maybe if you pick the wrong microphone, when you bring up the violin microphone, the sound of the drums in it is horrible. It's honky and peaky, so whenever you're going to push your violin microphone, your drum sound is ruined. So that's why when you do, it's the same principle we showed you about moving the microphones a little bit. It's the same principle for recording drums. I mean, although we love to think of it as one instrument, it's hell. There's 8 of them right there. And they all bleed into each other. Don't try and not make them bleed. Just try and make sure that the bleed is okay.
But if the bleed is not clean in the violin microphone, what would you do? Move that way?
Move him. I move him this way. Try a different pattern. Try a different microphone. Make sure the phase not off. Try a different preamp. Try a different player. All right, so what we're going to do now is we're going to record the whole song. And then we're going to listen to the whole song and see what we've done together today in tracking a band from scratch in about an hour and 15 minutes-ish, okay? So the first thing we're gonna do is we're gonna ask the phenomenal Will Knox band to record the whole song without me talking, interrupting, or saying anything. Isn't that amazing? Here we go.
I'm solid steel in scalding steam. I'm a cog in the machine. I'm sick and tired of the same routine, and I'm sinking like a submarine. Stopping clockwork is much harder than it seems. I'm setting free the cog in the machine. The machine.
my belly boiled by a fiery heart. I'm a Marxist on my march. I hit it once with a hammer to its head. Tick tock, this clock is dead. Stopping clockwork is much harder than it seems. I'm setting free the cog in the machine. The machine. Stopping clockwork is much harder than it seems. I'm setting free the cog in the machine. The machine. The machine. The machine.
Rockin'. Notice how nobody touched any faders while we played it back. Your head didn't get cut off from the violin solo when it came on. Everything kind of worked together as a band. With this microphone into preamp into converter thing sounds as good as many records that you hear out there, because care was taken to placing the microphones in the right place, and because it's also the phenomenal Will Knox band. And the phenomenal Meredith McCandless as the engineer. I'd like to remind you that the seminar was put on by, can you put the thing on? Was organized by Dangerous Music, who's very dear to me as an engineer. They helped me get to where I am as far as my knowledge base. And they make phenomenal monitoring and summing. It was put together also with the help of Mojave microphones and Royer microphones. It's all Mojave and Royer microphones on the stage right now. Universal Audio, who provided some of the preamps and compressors, and also the plugins that I'm going to use tomorrow to mix the song. Great River, who provided EQs and preamps for this. Focal, who put the speakers, and then Avid and Pro Tools. And these are the people who made it possible for you to see this. So please be kind enough to come back tomorrow at 11:30 to see the song being mixed and hear it. And lastly, as a thing, if you like the song, it's on the first Will Knox record, which they have here for sale, because they're professional musicians. And then there's also a second record, and both those records the second record came out as a comic book. It's pretty cool. You don't get a CD, you get a comic book, and then you download the songs, which is pretty nice. And both these records were produced by moi and recorded and mixed by Meredith and moi. Thank you very much. I hope to see you tomorrow at 11:30 a.m.
And folks, if you